though, Gordon. Let's start with this world record on day one from one Ryan Crouser. He'd been knocking on the door of what was once thought to be an unbeatable mark. Popped a 23-0 earlier in the season, but just goes right out and gets the thing done in the fourth round of the shot put. 23-37, Gordon. 23-37. Smashes a 31-year-old world record. His old personal best, as I mentioned, was 23:01. The previous world record was 23:12. And the coolest part was he knew it right as he threw it. Right after it left his hands, it was like a three-point shooter just already walking back on defense and putting their hands up to celebrate. It was almost like it was the reverse of that GIF that goes everywhere with Nick Young, and he puts his hand up and the ball goes in and out. This was the opposite of that, because right after it left his hands, he knew it, and he threw 23-37. 23-37. I can't get over it.
Yeah, 23. It's when you break a world record in a field event, typically it's by a centimeter, a millimeter even.
Yeah,
in the pole vault, they always go 1 centimeter up. He broke it by almost over 30 centimeters.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, you don't do that. Normally a world record is such a minuscule improvement, but it makes sense that he's doing this, right? He's been throwing over 22 meters backwards blindfolded. You know it, he's going to throw it. But like 23-37, that's insane. Trey Hardy said on Twitter, world record. I seen it. Long time coming. I lost my voice. Love it. 23-37. I can't believe it. All caps. It was insane. Speaking of Trey Hardy, if you guys are watching the broadcast, Trey Hardy, he's doing good on the kale diet, looking good, looking slim, like he's a distance runner all of a sudden, going from decathlon to marathon. Anyway, but yes, Ryan Crouser, unbelievable. It makes sense. He's throwing so well that he should be flirting with the world record, and now he's breaking the world record. And overall, that competition was pretty good. I mean, the top five, you could argue, were all Olympic medalist caliber talents. Yeah. And hey, if you're competing against Crouser, you're like, yeah, get the world record now in June and then have your off day in August in Tokyo, right? That's what Joe Kovacs is probably thinking. It's like, all right, get it now, because I need you to have your one bad 6 throws in Tokyo. But overall, great competition. Kovacs threw well, and Peyton Oderall making the Olympic team for their top 3.
By 3 centimeters. That one was real close between him and Hill. I remember when Crouser first broke 23, and we were half joking about, hey, is he going to make 23 what 22 was? Because 22 was hard. And then he just did it over and over and over again the last couple of years. And you look at what he did in this competition outside of the world record, put that aside, 22.61, 22.55, 22.73, 22.62. That's an insane series by any standard. It just so happens that on top of that, he layered a 23-37. And so we're not even paying attention just to the consistency that Crouser brought to the series. Every single one of his throws was better than Kovacs' best throw. And what do we think Kovacs is the second best thrower in the world right now. I mean, at worst, he's, top 3, top 4 in the world. And Crouser's putting a whole series better than everybody else. It's just, it's a lot of fun to watch a guy completely in his zone right now and doing it at the highest stage. I wonder, he hasn't even come to the press conference yet, so I haven't had a chance to ask him, but how much of this was just the stage? How much of this is finally you're thrown in front of people? You're not thrown in these small competitions. Yeah, I know the crowd wasn't as big as it could have been, or crowds that when we return to full capacity crowds could be or will be, but how much of this is just, hey, it's the Olympic trials now. It's not some random meet in the middle of Georgia or in the middle of Texas or in California. It's like, this is the trials. That's going to give me those extra 20 centimeters.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking, you know how you have like the ice bucket challenge and like weird like challenges people do? You need to do the Crouser challenge. And what that will be is you have to take a weight and you got to throw it 22 meters 6 times in a row. And you can see how heavy of a weight you can get to. A shot put is 16 pounds. So clearly he's the only one in the world who can do that. But like, what weight could you throw 22 meters like 6 times in a row?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you throw a 5-pound weight, 22 meters? I guess 5 pounds. I don't know. I want to like, what's the limit when you start being like, all right, You can't do
Oh,
this
it's
anymore
low.
because it's incredible.
It's low, and then you throw a 23-meter throw on top of that. Yeah, it's I don't think I'd get much above 5 or 10 pounds for me personally. It would have to be a very, very, very I don't know. Like are you talking about like baseball style throw or shot like actually shot put
I
style?
guess you have to do a shot put style to be legal, but
Yeah,
I'm just
then
thinking the
even
idea of
lower.
throwing a rock 22 meters 6 times in a row just seems very tiring, let
Yeah,
alone doing it
yeah,
once. Yeah. So
yeah. So he's at the top of the all time list now. Ryan Crouser 23-37 takes Randy Barnes's mark off of the books, and now you look at his whole career, right? So now he's 1, 5, 6, 7, 10. All so you're talking about a guy who not only does have the best mark, but all those other marks that he built up during the last couple of years when he was working up to this really completes his resume here as an all time great. I mean, you still want to see him go and win in Tokyo to add another gold medal, but can't do it much better than that out the gate. I had a feeling because we talked about the shot put and we talked about how far Crouser was capable of throwing, but I don't think any of us said the W word at all, and we probably should have because in this meet, where are the events where there's a world record possible? Probably just that one, the 400 hurdles for the women, right?
yeah,
And the men, the men too, I guess you could say, because Bry Benjamin's PB's at least in the neighborhood, but that's
yeah.
it. I don't think there's any other event where a world record is possible. And on day one, Crouser checked the box.
We also crowned